Ene Real Madrid ebo first game ewo the Spanish Premier La Liga against Osasuna ewo Real Madrid for fie. Madrid for hope say ombeshe season I say very well. Most especially Madrid main competitor Barcelona winning the first game. Said the okay last season Madrid and season I see. Mekai pass Real Madrid last season the first game was against Mallorca. Madrid ebo draw 1-1. One season I see. And year new season. Real Madrid for person omoji trophy ni free Barcelona and same no. Ombe try some be sha see ye against Osasuna ene. Ken last season Osasuna for also 9th La Liga. Nkofo bebre wanwa. Because looking at the resources, any materials are available at the Osasuna. Any position no mudi nipa do na nsusu se Osasuna. Ebetima placing 9th on the league log. Osasuna for so be try say. Yes, new season as in the omo ye in the last season no betimi atoa so no more repeat saa de no enti wo so sha see yi. But ken no kre wom ne say. Osasuna ye bo boku baako a traditionally omo ntimi Real Madrid. Recently omo matches omo bonu nyina Osasuna ntimi nche Real Madrid. Say yes say bo no Real Madrid kra fie be 21 years ni Osasuna mbese Real Madrid e woni fie. The last time you saw Osasuna, Real Madrid won the fee was in 2004. And so we bo boku a omba Real Madrid fee omuntimi Real Madrid bo boku no. Enti ye game back ken oko betting site oko be bia pandis obi abeka chro say Real Madrid for no na obi etepom so mbe wini. Ye game back ken me expect Real Madrid say ombe dominate play. Alonso be fa Real Madrid bo boku no ama Real Madrid for hu say opesa okipu ball no. Opesa omo pass around, omo dominate possession, omo use omo passes network no, no mo dia generate chances. Enti ena nwumre game no game back a ye expect Real Madrid say obe dominate Osasuna bobuku. De toso mienu, ye expect Real Madrid for say omo ne ba attack bebre. Osasuna for ne nyebo bobuku oba Real Madrid fie say oba bebiem ne Real Madrid for abo. Enti Real Madrid for ne ba attack in the game no. So we check Real Madrid team o de besi akan ya. Madrid ebenya right back in the shape of Arnold. Me no me anu nim say Arnold ye play abako a though say oye defender or ye right back by say ni team dominate play no join attack ni creativity level e wosoro o check any numbers assists any number of chances we create will Liverpool unhia any statistics to back this fact say Arnold join attack or my creativity no Madrid akwa for Alvaro Carreras at the aba be the left side of defense. Alvaro Carreras so ye obi baako left back baako or join attack or ye very good. And to say what I can last season with Benfica and Pokrana on my 5 assists, 4 goals, or non as a left back, Emma on 9 goals contribution. And to remember the Fobenia right back, and left back, on bet my support to attack, with Tomu creativity. Say the new role of Ada Goulet. A 50 FIFA Club World Cup and say Alonso as a star role no Ediama Ada Goulet. I operate as the deep lying playmaker. On the better direction, no obe control game ne diama Real Madrid team no. And to say Ada Goulet operate as a deep lying playmaker dia. Who expect say and no be attack mo a. Freddy Valverde betima operate as a dynamic boss to boss midfielder. Obetima surge forward because of ni shooting ability a. So ben boss na obetima shooting no the ball na twat him. Already Real Madrid benya Brahim Diaz, obenya Mbappe, na wenya Vinicius Junior. Enti Real Madrid fo benya numbers e wo position third. Real Madrid fo be create, Real Madrid fo be shegu. Die hia na ye say last season die hu ya na hu say players ni bebre na no na oma kwakwa say oma ye selfish no. This time around ye hu sa die ni bi. Enti game ba kwa die obe dominate, die obe attack goals ni die. It's expected say Real Madrid fo ne benya sa die no. Na mumkin Madrid betime defend ya na. I want to ask them no. From last season, and the problem have been Real Madrid all concede goals. And the new season, I say no, new my best son. Because Osasuna na oba only Madrid ni ba besi akaino. Obe rely on counter. Obe defend it. Obe push the players no on one kasa half. Na oje ball na we use quick transition. We use long balls and crosses no. Last season, the same thing and the course so Budome na only do attack no. No more use Zaragoza. Ana Ruben Garcia no ma ye crossing the akwa koma Budome. This time around ebese sakakra enti ye game ba akwa ken to be honest with you obetimi analyze ya kan bia by a game a multiple Real Madrid say Real Madrid fo benya omo first win e wo La Liga me expect Dinhausen ana Militao ɛwɔ the 4 and 5 area because nipa na obegyina nim dia mo Osasuna ne ken do say age no wanyini kakra by niti ye adwuma o ahoden enti wo behia obi te say Militao gradually o free injury by or picking a form no abattle with Abrante friend say Budome na Madrid for na stop crosses na ebeba no game back a I believe Real Madrid for benya omo first win with the Spanish Premier La Liga. A win for Real Madrid Football Club. Football dey bibia betimesi dey by a be extremely difficult say me say Osasuna eba ba Real Madrid. Meko a win for Real Madrid team no. Transfers ne kakra. Me tell say wo ye story about AC Milan ne Abrante friend say Veronique Rabiot ba no. Adrian Rabiot. Na Adrian Rabiot no ken. Onim say Mas Allegri ne say openo. Initially, omode offer ne koto AC Milan for anim no. Na AC Milan for na twetwe omo ho. Ana Mas Allegri convince AC Milan for mpanyimfo say o twe team na Napoli for hyehye. Inter Milan already omo wo team. Team e friend say Juventus so hyehye. Even the likes of Roma makwa akofa Gianpiero Gasperini. Enti so betima compete na wetimi sa di AC Milan na sa ba Europe dia e was a midfield no also onya experience na player ba ko wo gidie woni mu oni na ye adwuma no e ya Abrante friend say Adrian Rabiot enti e ka ho bi ana Mas Allegri aka che AC Milan mpanyimfo say kwan bia so onkofa Adrian Rabiot no mo mfa ne mbra no mbeka Luka Modric ana Loftus-Cheek mu won finfin ho no mo ntimi mfa compete the big guys e wo Italian Serie A AC Milan fo mpanyimfo aka che Mas Allegri say e be very difficult. Some bet menya Abrante no bombe try some be bibia because boy ne so contract ni EU 2027 ente be difficult bombe try some bet menya Adrian Rabiot e dia ma eye Mas Allegri epe Adrian Rabiot nanko wa ball ni Luka Modric bu mfinfin sa experience ni nti ye hwesa di oni bebi e ba akosie na say Carlos Baleba ne Manchester de no say nya yeka ontimi join Manchester United transfer window we so Manchester United hwe options ni bi na no na Manchester United akopiem wo Ramon Sanchez pre-1 Sevilla for defensive midfielder Lucien Agomi Manchester United for RSS player no beba oye midfielder edema Sevilla Manchester for mu say ono so profile no say Carlos Baleba age sa on the side ana boni mpokra besa ye de Manchester United enti Manchester United for decide say on be offer 22 to 26 million pounds at the Aquacoma Sevilla for Lucien Agomi. Now, any Sevilla for Akache Manchester for say Lucien Agomi no or release clause of 35 million pounds. And it's a Manchester United for power on Betiasa release clause no. On says the same player Lucien Agomi. Arsenal for near Branton din komo ko echire ma Branton ti assess over Arsenal. By Arsenal for entimi activating the clause no. Ana Sevilla for no efa na dia o mantimi Antonio. Manchester for say Carlos Baleba anye ye dia Lucien Agomi omo Manchester for no ebefa ni release clause 35 million pounds omo si ni profile no say Carlos Baleba pepepe enti Carlos Baleba anye ya Lucien Agomi no mbehwe na ken mete sana wo ye Casado ni English clubs no kakra onim say anya baaku 2 Barcelona midfielder Casado Wolverhampton Wanderers ana West Ham ana Casado as it stands now other clubs ne ko ho by prempre ya no team a omayi omanim so omo Casado no Wolves ana West Ham na ne nyina ne say Casado na 2 teams ne pe no Wolverhampton Wanderers for no akom defensive midfielder ba akope Andre enti Wolves for no so ne say so metimi aka wo Premier League ni ma e wo so omo konye obi oba beka Andre ho no metimi bo enti akom defensive midfielder 1 Wolves e ka ho bi na Wolves for so omo Casado ana awko West Ham for no hweso betima ton Edson Alvarez Fenerbahce for ne Edson Alvarez kasa Inter wo ho bi Dortmund wo ho ana FC Porto sa players we nyina no teams we nyina no Edson Alvarez enti West Ham for decide say so omo ton Edson Alvarez no makofa Casado enti akwakoye Casado na akwakoye Wolves ana team friend say West Ham ana omo pe 30 million euros ana betimi di Abrante ndi akwakopie ma o Premier League nim 30 million euros for Casado de ono no wakache ni agency no for no wasaman for ne say owo gidie say obetimi nya bia bo Barcelona say pecking order na ebe akoye den dia ma eye team e friend say eye Wasserman omo client eye ma Casado by said ye tie bia no boy ni say otna Barcelona kakra by Wolves and West Ham for ese omo pema Casado so omo si kan ye ready Barca for betima di says kan no ma Toma Casado enti Casado de 2 clubs no na ken Savinho de na wo ka no on se Ferran Soriano na mpeso obeko na Savinho agent or say on we deal na on free Manchester Chromo or say otna hotel say weekend we on betima we deal no na nhwehwemu abeto dwa say Savinho na papa friend say Ferran Soriano mpeso obeko ni nyina no omo nim say one new replacement ebe din ana omo mpesa abrante ni beko for cheap enti sa 60 million pounds no maka che Spurs for so omo betua no Spurs for so nya ready say on ba betua 60 million pounds no for abrante friend say Savinho because Savinho no 60 million pounds no wosoro enti omo nya ready to pay enti the Spurs for ana abrante ni agents eye Rodrigo ne ye ne say omo betwen ya na boy ne the pressure esi Manchester City for ne so Manchester City for so wo policy say player kase chinchin obekwa a e wo so jama de ko only if say fee na beba no e reasonable enti omo twen ko si this week enti ama agent ni si on free Manchester or twen so betimi ne Spurs ewie boy ne de waje atum so obebo Spurs bo boku no opeso free Manchester City because the ekeka kono Oscar Bob and Bernardo Silva mo ye tu no enti the agent ne tina Manchester City Manchester Chrome ho so be wie deal no na Manuel Akanji ene Galatasaray de no Manchester City akache Galatasaray ene Manuel Akanji agent ne say Galatasaray betima ba betua fee no mo Manchester City penedia ombeja Manuel Akanji amanako ba o man betua sa fee no mo penedia bedding up to date Manuel Akanji no mo renew the contract emfama no players are Manchester City for whom omo say omo ka the future ne ho no omo hyase ne omo negotiate for contract extension Manuel Akanji de no munya nwie ne contract ni 2027 by still na no muntimi ne nka bibia Manchester City aka kire Manuel Akanji ana Galatasaray for say omo pa brante ne dia eska na Manchester City for abom no omo betua say eska no ebereche Eze kin hwiebe ye hwese ene ananyambo etino betima akwa ne medicals no e dia ma Spurs 55 plus 5 million pounds na akoye 60 55 plus 5 million pounds eba akoye 60 as Spurs ebetua Ediama Crystal Palace QPR for benyamu 15% or sign 5 years and Ediama Spurs bobuku no enti ye hwe anim se enanko si nyambo akina no bibia nsesa obetimi akwaye ne medicals Spurs for ne person mo ye ne quick no mutimi register no e de ball mo no etim ni din mu na nyame aduma against Man City wetimi asi akan
obetia Man City
Man City enti kudus nie na ebereche Eze nie
komunya Savinho ne kan ho
na Savinho na ma say na Richarlison de nim ho enti omo hwe so betima complete di no na Nicolas Jackson de ne say Nottingham Forest for say omo monitor situation no
say baby adu no
Nottingham Forest so monitor Nicolas Jackson
£100 million Nicolas Jackson ana wonya team bia
say mu ayedene
na chance 100 no hane kofa bai ana na man kofo bofu na
so omo hwe players bi aye to mu
na say so omonya 30 kura so ombeje
30 de wo for omo nje
Oza
Nicolas Jackson 30 Chelsea nje
na say omo ba nyina ebisa loan no
so obi e baba omo so say no nsa akoye benchmark o omo hwe players bi ato ma boarding no omo hwe Nicolas Jackson numbers a Nicolas Jackson so was ntie say Aston Villa for be fana agese Aston Villa for so aton Oli Watkins Roma ne Sancho de no de tie ne ye say Elite Project Group ni agency no omo so mbeji Roma 11 million euros commission unim ni agent Emeka Obasi okay no Nigeria ni no
opesan
op 11 million euros commission
so Roma wa 11 na come fan to player
kaneka bio
Anderson Bray na say cry so dey
Alexander Solot ni
agency na say this remu bio
Alexander Solot ni Diego Simeone un say ntokwa apai ama boy ni peso free Atletico Madrid for say wa 35 million euros na be fa
but that say one player I think say last season omanye fan man who go so na o shema Atletico Madrid eti coach no ntimi money Alvarez nyina mum
on Penisa Griezmann call off last season the room maybe now he goes but he was still playing
17 games no
exactly
okay
me that's Matse Kwame Nkomo no kakra Casado 30 million euros na omobono. I think say one of the insults Matzel recently our transfer markets anymore. Kwame. Barcelona, Real Madrid, omunye selling clubs. But when they decide to sell, I will say at the right price.
Casado boy say.
Bendoku. Liverpool akora na mkofa ni fi Scotland benen nam wa bonu no mbobi ma Liverpool. We twa e dey amount bomb of 30 million euros. Experience ben akora no. And now Omari Hutchison and nam England na Chelsea kofa ni free eho and ok den twa ko twa share Ipswich ani. Ipswich say twa not na many 37 million pounds. Eko euros over 42 million euros. Experience ben Omari Hutchison. Wa national team ben na wabo. Omari Hutchison wabo Champions League. If these guys are being priced at that figure, someone who plays for Barcelona had the chance to play for the national team November, baby.
Clubs ne be so to say La Masia and Crane Bebre. I'm some system players.
Or for say
whether the say Casado say no ba once we need the Crane near thing. But your system player.
Your system player.
Or Shaba setting no ma ni hu bebre but be our coaching free ma. So
there is no point coming in for him if you think he's a system player. Because I think say Barcelona say no musi ton omunim ton. We name there say na release clause. But say Barcelona open up negotiations pa Dembele die and also so na a clause. Into say no musi ton enye massa someone who has played for the Barcelona Obo boy he was active against Bayern Munich. So time na no pa until say he got injured. See, the boys' problem is that Ophil say I was so boni bi. And no kwasa me woman say Barcelona ne 4-3-3 no 3 midfielders no Gavi, Pedri, Frankie de Jong, Marc Bernal, Marc Casado, Fermin Lopez, Dani Olmo. They are 7. So Romeo di obeko. And nkwada no so count. It is 7 no. Ideally Barcelona benya 6 ni eche say position bia 2-2-2-2 ti ba ku beka eche. Inte bi ofil say ehona ho no onya bo ni bi mo. And odwen national team ni ho. But my point is that Casado no he should be very careful. So what's Barcelona? Ni ebe wie season over 15 games. It is better than going to West. Now West Ham 18 papa. West Ham. I'm sure Kai. Akurano, him say he's desperate to play more games. Because national team no feel say lose the grabs of the national team. But Otsna, Frankie de Jong, or 28 years, the wages the Barcelona cannot sustain. A bedroom maybe he will have to leave. Eba beye Marc Casado ne Marc Bernal position. He needs patience or Russia. No better no. Or you pure boy or you typical Barcelona boy. Who come kwada ni one na captain. Why the rush? Ken, mamen tuaso na
Mr. 7 co-final.
Nempacho assist ne de. We are some obi onye selfish pa onya 1-on-1v1 na wa hwenya mieni ma pass de ama Joao Felix say Joao Felix gina hye na gye ni munyam de aya de
sane sie
na onya 1v1 true pass 1v1 ni goalkeeper
no pass ma Joao
otwenye se wampa otwen se Joao Felix mra no pass ball no function
na sa tapping no he for na de ma no so won so no so tap bi atuma and if
in a cross.
Okay. I know they cross.
Good.
Mama said ni aja o ma ya de 10 against 11.
I mean
when I Casado man ya de o mo.
Almost so can bear 15 games if I'm right. Our Nasa about 8 red cards. Some 30 red cards too much. They need to explain.
Oh, but I think say it here. I'm gonna champions of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, they've done well. I mean 10 against 11.
Ken. Say he last one here you be bonti be final.
What they doing mum?
Say Ronaldo jet trophy.
And they doing. Ken, share Jadon Sancho issue no. Derin kan. Me Jadon Sancho e Manchester City akwada. Na emre me catch us say Emeka Obasi ne ebedum mi dwa no pa he Emeka oye Nigeria ni awakot na UK wa most of the black boys they see him as the godfather Bukayo Saka on the hwakwara no so Jamie Giddens ya Chelsea for kwafa no kra na kwada no no it's most of the black boys in Romeo Lavia what they to don't wanna on a show also Balogun Edinketia just say ho Alexi Wobi he's their guy. Now you see this is why the Jadon Sancho issue gets complicated. Ken Manchester United for 85 million euros for Jadon Sancho no. Now oje 2.7 million euros or Dortmund. And the Manchester United move on from 2.7 million euros and number man 13 million pounds. Manchester United. Or buy and fa. See, I can 1 year I want a contract so. United for value to 25. Knowing very well. Say United for they know the deal. Say boy no he can decide say me more. What year? Mama my training I won't no problem. After the 1 year na kind of contract so oko free. Sikebi or pebi a obenya. Inti say negotiations so any United terms bio. A boy no and the Manchester United in here. Now, options ni say obetimi atwan na wako free. Obetimi so agi compensation for Manchester United. Say ekoba say United for airton because United mom na desperate to sell. Because they say, well, no, he knows very well, say, what happens and Sabono or call Roma Crana, it will be difficult for him to get back to the national team. It is a say, no, a Sika. Sikana, Nanka, so Oji or Chelsea or Wanji. Sikana or free Manchester United are Onjeno or Beji in compensation. Into the agency, Beji. On where we sound so Beji compensation. And Sana with the club with Marco. Because Otna, the next 1 year, Otna, Manchester United be born who can 13 million pounds. Into a catcher say, Ebiaman 7 million pounds as compensation that you'll be forced to pay. Into a never mean either so bad train. And as a club will be a Kobe or Jessica. And yeah, selling players to say the minimum can say Chelsea. What do you say? Obian can Chelsea as some Chelsea knows how to sell, but selling or no, Raheem Sterling. Or just 16.9 million pounds. Now what should be at 325,000 pounds? Wouldn't you say cool and I know only answer for you. Friday be a quantity just go. I can't 1 year. Raheem Sterling case to crowd is serious. Raheem Sterling Chelsea has a sub ton for 4-4. But also so you are reluctant upper London where Fulham cannot pay, those clubs in London cannot pay. It's Raheem Sterling case it's a Chelsea can answer because as someone for from. So now they are working out on other deals. If it is say Abrante Phantom, I saw Disasi would have to leave. Raheem Sterling, the Obeko, Ben Chilwell, Obeko, Renato Viega, no. Chelsea for somebody 40 million. Now let's go Madrid for pay and I'm walking off. Ernest for pay, more walking off. Say Villarreal number, Villarreal so be 35. Chelsea say onion 40. Say this is where we are.
Make one a surprise. Villarreal 35 no way.
Villarreal Eric Bailly Eric Bailly call Relo Viado. And now mo pay defender.
Because what you make central defender 35 million.
A huge money. I agree.
Villarreal and omo say party mu na won't.
Say omo build the team no. Inti no Chelsea for some pay 40, 35 dem feel say because Chelsea here just 40 million e ko fa no.
The size they say 25.
Make Renato Viega.
Renato Viega.
What I say?
Viega need to start to cry. Why na heavy?
Oh Viega.
Omo mienu.
Okay, Ken Viega no bow. Na Viega na so na den. Oh say Ken honestly.
Only disasi wo be fa wan.
Say Ken Viega answer na obekọ Juventus no. No obo pa o. No na sa aso den me pe bia bo na o ma Chelsea for the bufu ya ma no call loan. Onye bad player. Get to you. Victor Gyökeres. Any Arsenal penalty takers in Sansamno. Me say asa sorry gidi.
I don't know second person be man about Declan Rice mon person be man striker na penalty no.
Here Gyökeres ejina na so pa. Wa 34 penalty goals. last season ɔhyɛ 54 goals out of 54 goals no 20 na penalties 20 penalties goals 20 penalties no we say 20 goals etimi de uje league e wo bebre kon bebre so
uji gokin
etimi de uji gokin inti wabo penalties mako 20 what it means na say penalty scoring a part of the game
national contract no
me sure say me eno na me susu sa
ana no say Lami Yamal do wa free kick na say
na Lami Yamal no me kra no me start me support the campaign say and I can't tell
because someone is humble
okay na honestly we na ma 10 years here na obebo den
because you carry open play how many goals robert me ashe
and no problem no because open play even at Portugal like no open play no ntimi sha against the big clubs. So penalties are crucial. You see the reason why Bukayo Saka why bit quiet kakane say last season Arsenal just 2 penalties ewo league ni ma Bukayo Saka share. It is Saka relegation sa penalties na e dey ama this boy. Na just Saka so numbers so beti. Udigard numbers so beti. Inti say the coach na no mu bisa no no funfom na se we jai dey ama players no. But quiet to say me I sure say bia am dey ashebo any contract me say penalty no man bo because penalties are very important in today's game.
Obeje me sure so obeje. Negotiations no obeje.
Penalty account. Kin penalty e bia na say make say me ntia say Barcelona e dey na ma 10 JC e dey amala me yamala. With all due respect. We said 10 JC of Barcelona. Una are the king of the team. The 10 JC represents the kingship of Barcelona. Bibia goes through you. Say Barcelona sika some ye shopper and Lamine Yamal just the year koto. Aquadano, he cannot win Ballon d'Or with these numbers.
Well,
he can penalty dear no question say with all due respect say some Lewandowski now say watch the goals who said you day penalties no. Mama Lamine Yamal because last year Lewandowski knew anal Rafinha nebo they should give it to Lamine Yamal. Well, he needs to amass numbers. Say no whether we like it or not, born body, only butcher in the generation ni bebree. But numbers game there, do numbers are no what's no. So Barcelona needs to help him by giving him the penalty kicks. What's your number 10 years here? The responsibility is on you and go Palmer. And you want to say 10 years in one penalty.
But that's it. I know I Lamine and Victor Jokeres in the Arsenal penalty tickets in one sense. Bukayo Saka, so Jama, Jokeres, Lewandowski. Ejai ejema eye Lami Yamana Mbappe chechi so wono ho ama one na no Vinicius Junior omo so the penalty last year omunya be kwa me so munya be kakakra bi nkamo ko be 20
Mbappe go a 7
okay so mu twa ye be
omo top players no ma as players no
7 penalties no no bo share sanye izo
bigi
kenam the end be man decide say obenya a one-on-one situation on the goalkeeper. Ronaldo na ye nim no ball we that screen so Cristiano Ronaldo betimi a share ball no with ease with ease the Ronaldo we know but Ronaldo decided say or train na Joao Felix aba na wa pass ball na ma Felix na wa bash e die ntia memi mudie me gidi say Ronaldo pese Felix e comfortable no gaining the confidence
okay
going forward
what the pass
and no be man
na Ronaldo pass no obe hu play akro
and the man who play
one who play okay
a person gaining the confidence and into the man the ball here then man me ka dia baba be see the Arsenal Jokeres penalty situation so
okay
se Bukayo Saka ne other players ne decide so mo be ma Victor Jokeres about penalties what do they lose as players can Arsenal problem the number 9 department, striking option. The biggest problem for Arsenal. For the past 3 seasons, department bakwa. Na ye nyina ye kase ka ho na Arsenal ntimi anji league. Our department no. Enti clearly. So the player ba be share department na. I will say who say player na pressure kese pa. E wo player na to because obi feel say afei na agenkwa na ba. Say sa position ni nya na spark na e fa. Obia feel say Arsenal team libetimi agi league because the biggest problem and ahinda Arsenal from winning the league has been solved by bringing in that number 9 and as a striker. It is a teammate ne munyina mo kabom Now we decide this mobile striker and I'm an settler. Ken, there is nothing wrong with that. And I feel that the best thing I ask now players need to me aye. Eddie Abua Brandt, you know, and it's on the penalty. The man say,
Saka and your penalties and I can obey to do double figures. When you double figures, Saka obedu him fan obedu. Because on the so a star boy. I will team them on a team the project.
Of course.
And your boss season in area. One year like a crowd nomination or Ballon d'Or. Unya BBBA. No about ordinary.
And you did numbers home come up. But I need more on my dear. May I sure say Nipa had the numbers better than the pie number 9 when it comes to goals.
Okay.
It's one only here, especially when say the medical can say everybody feels the same Jenkwanaba.
I think say number 9 being here Karim Benzema star type of players in Biana. Here you go and more star maybe. Player be on him goals should be at say maybe in see what Madrid, you know. Here player or per ball no ball or striker there, but go now 17 in the movie break. Because that's not been issues.
That is when Ebiane say, "Oh, can Karim Benzema onim ball ne ball, and no number 9." But in situations like Jokeres Modiano, Jokeres na me maheno no, it's not a ball playing center forward. Na dream will go send some more. Na Juma no. And then me few say players ne kabom no mo boa ma Brandt and settle be boa. Ken Vinicius Junior. Nipa bia what two Vinicius for. Say unforget on Real Madrid contract and some. No focus was season need to be an Vinicius and Nana say. Nipa na eboa. And ne uko team bia mu there is that player. I will be a few on the face of the team. Oba Manchester United ne. Na mpanifo ni decide so almost time United sika nyina de ama Bruno Fernandes a. Obi abeka na no atomobi ani ho bekasa. Go to Barcelona today. Yantam team ni musika nyina say de Malami Yama. Obi abeye din. Obi ankasa. Because these players are the faces of these teams. And this person okoko duru sa stage you know. O person won so ye mo obi bi ma wa. And your performance will be done in the park and so. Vinicius Junior contract be June 30th 2027. 2 years ahead. 2 years in Bruno. Now Vinicius Junior or 27 years. It Vinicius now ye din Hong Kong contract extension now or Sikana or contract extension no or mre won animu a obetimi dia press sika no so obe press sika no na ye betam say sika na ma ye be treat you to say the always expect say ye treat you na ken football no become the best player, do your best, obey your best. No be able to what do that kind of level. It's the emphasis sika na ma wa enya wumpo na obeka a Vinicius Junior, I won last 2 seasons. And I owe him come on, I press Sikana opening the year. I am not sure Senka Real Madrid for better chomo.
Mbappe Banam one. Mbappe Madrid or by and more Vini.
Sesia there in a way because Mbappe now be the face of the team. And looking at the performance.
Vini based on year numbers in the Madrid official store on sell it.
Yes.
Because we if you are Jude buy, you know. Jude in a ton jerseys pa.
Yeah.
Last season, Mbappe and a ton jerseys pa. Then Jude.
And Ken Sohaya, now Jude buy, you know. Before Jude's arrival, not Vini, Edini was ropa. But Jude performance, then numbers no be my, you know. Emma Jude Dean Basro.
I didn't see my mom phone talk because born now about the Madrid na what me I influence 2 Champions League trophies. Edia Momono. I think I can't mom sell a panko count.
Of course, I was in count.
Until didn't ma a image na sana racism issues so there be or fight against racism and then I affecting Spain.
In a way, bit to me account. It could be one of those reasons. But it made me feel say I heard for the past 2 seasons Padia. He hasn't been the face. Jude Dubai, you know. Jude Jumano Babaye any peja Jude Coco do a certain level. In the first season. It's on only Babinya Sadi, no attention, any recognition, no. Then we step in another season. Another season now you realm. There is Kylian Mbappe. On also Mbappe outshine Jude. It is a why he sales in the BBR. Mbappe abeda so. And a Jude abeda second. And the Vinicius Junior gradually fallen down the pecking order when it comes to the star players for Roma Madrid Bobo him. And a performance, no. And a bit to me do what drew on them. It's on focusing on the coming season. Your boss season new na Vinicius the man numbers are abnormal, numbers are calling numbers are cost through bebrea. Menya show se sikana ope. I need the official or Real Madrid no, or no best science wako pre, say em fa deal with man or Debbie. Real Madrid Bobo Kunankasa who say yes, Vinicius Nana Yenim he's back. And the always say see Abiano, a Sefatano. Until the what to a brand for. Say on focus on the performance for the upcoming season. yet said you are justify. If it goes very well, I give you should be a Madrid de Bemano, and the Honda was a play an attention call. Ken Napoli is in the hunt for a striker because Romelu Lukaku a and first I shall see if Rasmus Højlund and a Didi Moa and a BP Nicolas Jackson. These are two players Omunyana come from Mubako. Edi akwa question Napoli Boboko anymore. Now baby Adiana Kwako Druno. You have to choose with care between these two players. Omumi Enunyina looks available. But I'm saying you have to choose with care because Jackson is a player for the past 2 seasons. He has been a better striker than Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund first season was Manchester United share 10 league goals. Last season Jackson share 14. Last season Jackson share 10. Højlund share 4. And for the past 2 seasons he's been better than him. Omumi before joining the Premier League. Now Jackson is better when the league much in Højlund because season now Manchester United torn or share 9. And now Jackson share 12 in the Spanish La Liga. Until there is nowhere for the past 3 seasons. Rasmus Højlund is a better striker than Nicolas Jackson. But the advantage, and answer baby, Højlund to Gina Yeka say, we are talking about a league can what border. It is already a numbers game there, straight away Nicolas Jackson. But on also experience be was a league anymore. There is no guarantee that Jackson economy me pick that spark. Abra or Shas and Anania con kind of mano. But Antonio Conte na is an experienced manager and on the technical team in Tennessee. No more weigh these two options very well. No more the beboa because Ulusi Lukaku. Ube you be obey me ama numbers kaka. No sense wa bo any more for na more machine.
So between Solot and Ewe, one partner when you say
when you come on me the mefa Solot.
Solot is from
yes. Because to sit on the benches of Atletico Madrid, now can you be season baby now be share 20 league goals last season.
Or to bench share 20.
Or to bench share 20, no free bench never.
Okay. But that's it.